Hey guys, this is Fourth Axe here. I'm going to be showing you an intro to Blender, mainly because folks, specifically this is dealing with uh, like avatar making and stuff for VR chat, because some folks have been wondering how I make my avatars, or rather the edits and things of the like. So let's go ahead and just get into it. Usually when you boot it up, you're going to see something like this, new file, whatever, recent files. Don't worry about this. This is just part of an update that I was doing with one of my avatars. Anyway, so it's going to start you off in new with a camera, a cube, and a light. We don't want any of these. Let's go ahead and shift click to select all from starting and delete that. Uh, Now, first thing you're going to notice when you boot up Blender is it's going to be a little bit different than Unity. Clicking and dragging does not move the camera, or the viewpoint, rather. You're going to have to use these buttons here on the side to do that, and this as well. However, there are hotkeys to do so, and I don't really remember too many of them. I know that if you go to the numpad in the lower right, or the right side of your screen, or keyboard, fuck, I can't talk. One centers you forward. Actually, here's a bad, it's kind of a little, I'll explain that later. But for now, let's just go ahead and start with our avatar that we are working with. Let's go ahead and import FBX. And I have this fella here as an example, so Protogen. Now, you're going to start off with this, right? Shaded view, solid. There's material preview, and there is rendered preview, as well as this other one here, which is just showing the wireframe. Now, I'm just going to be using this one, which is solid. Rendered ones is for stuff that is like just added in with it. This here lets you see through the objects, which is actually very useful. So anyway, let's go back to the numpad stuff. So 1 centers it forward and keeps you flat against X and Z. So you're pretty much seeing through the Y axis. Pressing 3 switches you to X's viewpoint of Z and Y, and then 7 is top-down perspective. 9, however, let me press, okay, so I pressed 1. 9 flips to the opposite side. So you can hit 9 a couple times, go over to 3, and then if you need to see the other side, you do that, and then 7, and then you see the bottom. So pretty self-explanatory. 5 switches this part here, which is, well, this. Yeah, anyway, 4 moves the camera like that, 6 does it this way, 8 does it this way, 2 does it this way. I don't know what 0 does. Doesn't really seem like it does anything. Anyway, so we're going to go over here, and the first thing that we're going to take note of here is it's going to have your armature, which is, you know, where your bones are. We're going to go ahead and hide that for now, because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be, okay, actually let's keep it on for an example here. Whoops, and then try this. Yeah, okay, so only when something is selected will you be able to change from object mode. Yeah, so, yeah. But this is important because it makes it so that way you can have this and then change it to edit mode, and then you can select this to show it for reference. Probably a better example if I selected the armature and then did edit and then go over to body and use that as the example. Now, the example, or the stuff that you're referencing will be shown down in this kind of deep shade of orange. Meanwhile, what you're working with will be a bit brighter. So if I hit A, it selects all components. But as you can see, it's just the armature because that's what we have selected. Something important to note when you import shit or export shit from Blender, it's going to add bones to every like extended thing here. So for example, this should not be here. See, okay, so you have thumb L001, which should be there, and then there's thumb L001 underscore end. We don't want that. So we're gonna, because it's excessive bones, we don't need them. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna hit delete and then select bones. You can only do this when you have the armature selected, by the way. So let's go ahead and shift click to select those ones. Might as well knock off this part of the tail here. It won't add bones to something that is parenting another bone. So where it says here, it says ears, it will not add bones off of that because it's got these dotted lines to the other bones that it is parenting. Upper hair end, lower hair end. Okay, that seems to be all, unless that's something. Oh, yep. Alright, let's go ahead and remove that. Alright, cool. So, we have fixed our armature. We're not going to do anything else with the armature because, well, even if we like rotate shit, as you can see, it gets very fucking wacky. So let's Control Z to undo that. We got a lot of tools here. Now, the tools will change depending on what kind of item you have selected. So we're going to switch over to object mode so we can go and select body. And we're going to select edit mode. As you can see here, there's a lot more here. We're going to hide the armature and deselect all of these. I want to, let's say, spiffen things up a bit and give myself the option to, I guess, remove the arms, just because. Let's say I'm making a Protogen based off of Madness Combat, I guess. That would actually be a good idea. You know what? I might actually do that. But before that, I need to remove the arms because that's what they don't have arms in that universe. So we're gonna have this here, and you'll notice that if I have this little green triangle right down here, it's gonna give you our data properties. So this is going to be our shape keys, and this is going to be our vertex groups. Now, why that's important is that will tell us where these things are, or you can just have them select these, you can assign things. So let's just go ahead, just to show, let's select the hips. These are all that's tied to the hip bone. I won't get into weight painting because I do not understand it too well myself, but regardless, it's something for a different day. Anyway, as I was saying, we're going to be focusing on the arms and how we can remove this stuff. So let's go over to arm L. Oh, it's showing up some of that, so let's not do that. Oh yeah, X-ray has been on this whole time, so this is what it looks like without X-ray, but I like working with X-ray because, well, I'm weird. So I'm going to select this. Now, obviously this isn't what we want. We don't want to target the hand. So instead, I am not going to rely on this. I am going to hold and drag, or click and drag, all the way over to right here. Let's say this is kind of what I'm trying to do. I can also shift and drag along these as well, because, you know, we want to go all the way with this. Which means I should probably get some of the interior of right here. Okay. You know what, I'll deal with that when I do, but if we wanted to just delete all of this, we could just by hitting delete and then vertices, but I don't want to do that. I want, because what will happen is you're gonna get a big empty spot and you can see inside the hand, and that's not something that I want to do. So instead, I am going to select from here to here. Actually, okay. So I'll just select these ones here for now. I'm going to merge vertices at center, so it's going to show up at the center of them. And then I can slide it over to where it's about flush with the hand. And we don't have that problem of seeing inside of the hand. But, you know, we still need to take care of the rest of the arm. So let's go about doing that. So let's make this guy. Ooh, actually, I have a better idea. We're going to bisect this. We're going to go along here. We're going to hit A to select all. And we are going to hold Control and then drag down. Now what that did, actually first off, let's do that again so that way I can show this. So that's going to do that, right? And then there's going to be this little thing here that says bisect. Open that up, and you'll be able to clear inner, which will get rid of everything before it, and then clear outer, which clears everything out of it. Very, very simple, but I don't want to do that. I wanted to do this, so that way it does that. And because this straight line is here, it created its own vertices there. Oh yeah, I should probably select this here. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to merge those vertices at center, and I am going to make it flush again. Right? This is, yeah. So then I can just go over here, and then select all of those, and then just hit delete. Now I have that. So that's cool. Now, as cool as this is, let's undo all of it, so that way I can show another thing. Let's say I didn't want to delete these vertices. Let's go ahead and I should probably, I'm going to assign them to a new vertex group. So I'm going to add vertex group. Let's call this arm thing example. Cool. All right, so we have that, and we're going to assign those to it. So now every time I go over to it and I hit select, it'll select those vertices. Anyway, so we're gonna do that. The reason why I set that up is because now I have to deselect, I have to go into object mode, which will deselect those pixels. Actually, or not pixels, but vertices. I don't think it does now that I think about it. If I switch to object mode, it'll deselect it, yes, but when I go into edit mode, yeah, okay. So then that wasn't necessary, but it was still a good idea because it will show you, you know, what you can do with this. Where did it go? Oh, I didn't. Right, because I undid everything. So I'm gonna go all the way down here. And why this is important is because if you can only make blend shape keys in object mode. So we're gonna make this. We're gonna call this no arm, and we're going to set that to a strength of 1 and enable shape key edit mode. We're going to go back to edit. Now I'm going to go ahead and hide the armature so that way it's just less distracting. What I wanted to do was slide it apart. Oh, wait, what am I doing? I'm overcomplicating things again. Let's just go ahead and do this. And then, yeah, cool. Yeah, okay. I wanted them as close as possible to each other, so that way I can... Which means I get to do another bisect. Yep, cool. Bit atrocious what I'm doing, but I suppose I did want to make this video. So let's get those. I can merge vertices at center, and that'll do that, which is cool. And the reason why that's cool is because I don't know why. We'll find out in a second. Alright, so select all, and then if I chop it down there. Oh, right, I can do that. Alright, cool. Now that I have those selected, I can merge those at the center as well. And then we have this nice little line in between. And we're going to select said line and delete it. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and average the vertices. So cursor to selected, and I'm going to snap those vertices there. I am going to do the exact same thing I just did there, but with all of these ones around it, and I'll be back when I do that. Actually, no. Having it like this will be easier to show you what I'm going to do. So let's just deselect that and go to this. Okay, so select, go to full, and I'm going to take those. Is that these two things? Okay, so let's snap cursor to selected, and let's scoot that down to where it's on its level, bro. Snap vertice, selection to cursor. Alright, cool. Now I'm going to do the same thing here, and then blah blah blah. Yeah, so you get it. Now, what's so cool about this, right? Why would I need to worry about that, or what I'm doing here? Let's. Oh, I gotta really. Oh, the fucking armature. Okay, armature was trolling me. So I'm gonna actually zero out those ones as well. So let's do that, and then snap those to there. But what I'm doing there is I'm also going to. Where's the gap? There it is. So this part onward is all going to be snapped over to that spot there. Now what I just did with that was that where I put that? Cursor to selected, snap, selection to cursor. Alright, so now we're going to take the rest of that and we're going to snap it there as well. Alright. So that's cool, right? Let's go ahead and reset the cursor to the world origin. Let's go ahead and change that back to 0. And essentially, you have almost nothing has changed, right? There's still this here, but you can snap them to each other. You can even them out and whatever. That's cool and all. That's fine. To anyone else who doesn't really see it, this looks like a regular ass Protogen. So let's go ahead and go into object mode so that way we can see that this looks very solid, but then we're going to switch on that and it looks like I've just removed the arm. Very simple. Anyway, a lot of you probably aren't here for making those kinds of edits and instead want to see how I would like remove parts or change things. So we're gonna do some of that too. Let's go to a more complicated build here. Like let's say we wanted to chop the hair off of an avatar or FBX. So let's go ahead and import from yeah, let's go ahead and get Roxy. Let's get Roxy's hair. which is a lot harder than it sounds because the hair is inside the thing. You know what? Actually, let's go for an easier one. Let's get the tail. Let's say I wanted the tail, or maybe those. Oh my God! Look at these fucking bone extends. I've. Oh my God! What the fuck are these? Okay, again, I gotta take a look at this. End. Oh my God! Wait, the jaw. Okay, admittedly that's pretty funny, but let's expand that. Um, okay, I gotta fucking. We'll deal with that later. We'll deal with that when we're done. Hang on. Is that selected or is that attached? I don't think that's attached. So that's actually really good here, because what that does is let's set the cursor right here, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm just going to keep snapping selections to the cursor. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to select line selection. And yeah, just keep doing that. Selection to cursor, do that, and it should pull away all the stuff that is not attached to select. Come on. Oh, right, I need to do that. Now, you probably could have just selected this and gone through all of those, right? And you can do that. That definitely is a way to work. But, still a lot of problems with that. A lot of these things, a lot of these vertex groups are not precise. So you're gonna have to deal with that. Anyway, so let's deal with this fucking monstrosity. Go ahead and select object mode. Let's get rid of everything above here first off, because we don't need that. So bones, we have bones. Hair. And just remove those. Okay. Oh, you missed the draft, bud. Anyway, so we got chest, spine, hips. We don't need the chest. We might not need the spine either. So let's just go ahead and get rid of that. But we're going to want to keep the hips because that's where this part is primarily rooted, and these are parented to. So let's just keep those there. But everything else can go. Long ass fucking feet. Anyway, so let's. Okay, you, and delete. Right, okay, so let's go ahead and switch to object mode, and we're going to import FBX from documents, the protogen, right? Now, obviously, this isn't what you're looking for, but because after all, this kind of protogen is kind of small in comparison to some of these other fellas in general, not just Roxy. Roxy's tall, sure, but not all that tall. So we're going to select armature here, and we're going to keep it in object mode, so that way we can. Oh yeah, we're gonna want to change up the origin now that I think about it. So let's get this here and scoot this to about here, and then we're going to snap the selection to grid, so that way it's aligned with this. I should hide that so that way I can see it a bit better. So yeah, so this is aligned with the grid, and now I'm going to parent. Oh, no. I'm going to set origin to the cursor. Whoops. I forgot to check. Yeah. Let's go there. Snap to grid. Please tell. Ah, fuck off. Okay, so it's a little fucky here. Snap to grid. Alright, so that's what we want. That's where we want the parent, or the origin to be. So that's what we're going to... Okay, let's change that to... set that to the world origin. So now when we move it, it's going to be along this part here. Very, very cool and simple and hype, I guess. First things first, we're going to want to remove this tail. So, you know, the whole song and dance that we've been doing. Alright, yeah, so that's all of them. So we're going to delete that. This actually seems to work out perfectly here. So we're going to go back here, and we're going to... Oh yeah, right. Object mode. Select. We're going to slide that on over. Okay, let's do that. Kind of fits in quite well. But it could be a bit better. So let's try and resize. So that way it kind of fits. Yeah, that works. That actually works really, really, really well. So yeah, so now we have that. And we don't even need to snap vertices along the side so that way it looks flush. That actually just looks pretty cool. So that's cool. And we have that. But if we look back here, whoops, not edit mode, object mode. So that hip bone's a little forward. So what we're gonna do is we're going to try and let's see. So this is this hips. So we're going to put the cursor for that one there. And we're going to match this bone here, whoops, to that one. So if I select this, I'm going to snap this one to the cursor. And just to show that I can change things without the cursor, I'm going to do this and just kind of slide the bone over to right here. Just to show that, hey, that's, yeah, kind of close to the mark. Oh, wait. Oh, hang on. I'm looking at the... Okay, yeah, no, it's supposed to be over here. Okay, so I was almost cool. Anyway, so yeah, so now we have that. And we have these bones here. We don't need the protogen. Actually, no. Hang on. So if we hide this and this, I believe we can just export this. But before we do that, what we're going to want to do is set the cursor to the world origin, and then we're going to set that as the origin for the armature and body here. So that way, when we have our protogen in Unity, it'll just be at the same height and easier to line up with how its armature is. Now, we actually want to save both of these, but we can't. Unless... Actually, hang on, let me try this. I'm gonna try this. Let's go ahead and export this as FBX to this, and we're gonna call it test, because I'm not creative. And we're going to, I'm actually going to save this as a thing there too. Go to documents, test.blend. Save. Alright, cool. Now we're going to go ahead and set new. Go ahead and just delete that, delete that, delete that, and then we're going to import that, and I'm going to see if that actually worked, because if that worked, then that's dope as fuck. Oh my god, it did. Alright, so it has this. Thing about this, the armatures are not combined. So when you're in Unity, you're going to have to unpack those prefabs and you're going to need to change that up. Also, I just realized that I did not fix these bones. Oh well. Uh, I did. You saw how to change that. But anyway, so this is how you do that. If you just wanted the tail itself, you just delete this, and then you have your tail. Very simple stuff. Yeah, I think that's it.